Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drunkard's Walk. It's a podcast, and I'm one of your hosts. My name is Matt Hartman. And of course, I'm joined here by the other host of Drunkard's Walk, Jethro Nolen.
Hello.
Hi, Jethro. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you? What adventures have you been up to?
I'll tell you what, man. I had the strangest thing. So I don't really where I go to work and when I used to go to school, I wasn't the most popular kid, and I'm not the most popular person now, and I get made fun of quite a bit. So I escape a lot of times.
With your love of cryptic puzzles and knowledge of science fiction?
I know, but I escape a lot of times. I use escapism, and the best way to escape is in a good book. You know what I mean? A really good book that I just really just dig my teeth into and just feel like I really become part of that story. Well, I'll tell you what, man, the craziest thing happened to me.
What?
I started reading this book that I got from this weird old used bookseller. And I really felt like I was there. I felt like I was in the whole thing, and like there were these riddles, and there was this thing that ate rocks, and there was a dragon that would give you like luck, and then this woman needed a name, and well, anyway, the point of the story is I got here on a dragon. I rode a dragon to the studio today.
It's a shame that the dragon's not on camera, so we could verify your rather long story.
Yeah. I mean, it did go on for quite a while. I
was worried
to call
that
it never ending.
Yeah, indeed.
I hesitate to call it that because it did have an ending. It did end. Although there was definitely a second part to it and a third part, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe a reboot in the future. You got to hope.
Yeah. That's what the world is crying for. I remember we tangentially, obviously I'm referencing now a film from the 80s, which has nothing to do with the story that you just told.
Oh, but, okay. What was that? What film is that?
It was called A Never Ending Story. And there's some superficial simularies between the story you just told and
I bet
film.
there wasn't a racing snail in the movie. So
in fact, there was, but I rewatched it a few years ago with my daughter, and we were very, very underwhelmed.
No,
it did not hold up at all.
Oh no! That play what is it called where he's just in despair the entire time? I can't remember the name of the
nothing.
No. It's
the
like,
place where the horse dies.
Yeah. Where Artax is taken. Ugh, gosh, that was the worst. That was the saddest.
Indeed. One day you will emotionally scar your daughter the way that I emotionally scarred mine by forcing her to watch that film.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that and there's several that I plan to do the same thing with. Well, anyway, I'll tell you what, Jethro. After all of that, I'm just happy to be here, and excited to go on another journey of a different type through Wikipedia with you.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully, this one won't be never ending. Not unlike some of our less popular episodes, like Postmodern Jukebox. But this one, hopefully, we'll just be able to lightly skip and frolic through Wikipedia and learn a thing or two along the way. But Matt, we can't begin our journey unless we know what our destination is. And sadly, I forgot to bring a destination with me. Do you have anything?
No. I've heard that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single destination, but I don't have one.
Well, there we go. Well, maybe we could ask my brother, Dan.
What?
Who happens to be here. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Just tell the people a little bit about how we know each other and where we met.
We came from the same birth canal. That would be Jethro and I.
Wow.
As far as I know, Matt took a different route, but
a brother from another mother. That's me.
Indeed, that's what they say.
There you go.
And so, yes, we have had a lifetime of kinship.
What is you've known Jethro or Jeff, as you probably knew him, for such a long time. Tell us a story of his childhood. Tell us a fable, or perhaps just something fun about that happened that you remember from when he was growing up.
And Dan, I might interject here to urge you to choose wisely. that whatever momentary glee you might get from revealing some terrible secret from my past will surely be outlived by the scorched earth tactics that I will take to ruin the remaining years of our mutual lives together.
I mean, growing up in the 80s, I'm familiar with the concept of mutually assured destruction.
Sure.
So, so you don't need to be a bear about it. But I will say that Jethro has always shown an interest in comedy from the youngest age, such that I remember what is probably his first joke he ever wrote. Well, he didn't write it; he spoke it.
Okay.
But so we were driving along the highway, as I recall it, and for some reason he decided to bust out his new joke on the family, the captive audience in the Cutlass Sierra or station wagon or whatever it was we were driving, probably in the 70s. And I believe it went something like this. Hey, what did the tiger say to the sign? And we said, I don't know. What did the tiger say to the sign? And he said, hi, sign. Bye. See you later.
Comedy gold.
Wow. That's
starting
great.
Young. That's what I'm
just glad to see that you've had like a through line. Everything has stayed consistent for you since the very beginning. And that's great. Consistency is very important, Jethro.
And I will say that that my net earnings from comedy were the same the year that I first said that joke as they were in the past 12 months. So I've remained remarkably consistent at the marketability of my comedic skills.
I love it. That's fantastic. I think that
I will say the trajectory of his comedic quality is practically stratospheric from that humble beginning.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to say, even if it's not necessarily true.
All right. That's
I tried, Jethro.
I heard what you muttered under your breath. It's also very weird for me to hear my brother Dan, who's known me as Jeff my entire life, refer to me as Jethro. It's just one of those things that since I acquired that nickname in college, my dad will do it occasionally too. And it always, I find it slightly jarring because I'm like, no, I know you from this other context, not from improv. Oh, well.
Yeah.
C'est la vie.
Well, but it's your host name, so he's going along with it. He's yes-anding you.
There we go.
Yeah.
With his deep improv. This may be one of the few people we've had on this podcast that does not have years and years of improv. Although I think he's flirted with the idea of it.
I mean, Jethro, I don't know if you knew this or not, but yes and is not just applicable to improv; it's applicable to life, buddy.
I feel like unless you paid somebody for a 101 class, then you shouldn't be saying yes and willy-nilly. It's like firearms training. You need to learn how to use it.
That's true. That's true. Dan, I'm sorry I cut you off. What did you have dabbled in the improv arts? Have you?
The smallest of pinky toes. I took a free intro to improv class and tried to sign up for a 101 class, but alas, COVID has foiled me a few times. But it's still on my list. I want to be like my little brother when I grow up.
There we go.
There you go. That's great. He can probably teach you for free. You probably don't have to take
sweet.
a class.
Fuck that. Free. He's retired. He's got money. No, he could. And
I got money because I didn't spend it on stuff that I didn't have to.
Yeah. And plus, Matt, I don't know if you remember from your improv teaching days that that middle-aged white guys are not exactly the easiest people to teach anything because they think they know everything. So
it's true, but I mean, it's just the demographic that fills the whole room, unfortunately, a lot of the time. So
there you go.
Luckily, Jethro is far too distant physically for me to commute to any sort of class, and so I think he and our relationship will be best served by me locating a different instructor.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's true.
Love from a distance.
What distance are you at, Dan? Where do you reside?
I am in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
A lovely town.
Is it as weird as I've heard?
There is weirdness for everyone. It may not be the kind you like, and it may not be the kind that was here when I got here in the 80s, but sure, lots of weird.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
I can verify that statement. There's a different kind of weirdness than there used to be, but it is a lovely place. I try to, whenever we go to Texas, we try to get down there. But speaking of going places, he said, segueing
nice
to the topic of our destination.
That was great.
Dan, I understand that you've brought a Wikipedia page for us to journey to today. What can you tell us? Where are we going?
All right. Your destination is Trilon.
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 What is Trilon?
I've never heard of that.
It sounds exactly like something that nerdy sci-fi freak Matt Hartman would be into.
Yeah.
Well, does Matt know? I don't want to spoil it if Matt knows.
No, I don't know what Trilon is. I don't, unless I've read it somewhere and just glossed over it because I didn't know what I was reading.
All right. Well, the short answer is that it is a 3-faceted prism-shaped object.
Oh.
What, 3-faceted? So 3-sided, or how does that
it's like imagine a triangular prism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like the thing that appears on the Pink Floyd album cover, Dark Side of the Moon. Is that a trilon? Or is that just triangle?
I feel like that's just a triangle, just perhaps a pyramid, a glass pyramid that splits out the light on the album cover. Anyway,
okay.
So imagine a triangle extended lengthwise, so that you have 3 faces. You can rotate
Gotcha.
to contain different, messages.
And go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to ask. I mean, I'm picturing something, but the thing I'm picturing actually technically has 5 faces, but 2 of them, the light wouldn't pass through because they're like on the side. Like take a loaf of bread and then cut it, make two like diagonal slices off of it, and you wind up with something that looks like a triangle from the side. But if I looked at it from the bottom, it looks like a rectangle. Is this correct, or am I picturing the wrong thing?
No, that's correct. So
okay.
Again, I read you the definition verbatim.
Sure.
So you can update Wikipedia if you feel that there is a better definition.
No, not at all. I'm sure that faceted means exactly that. I'm not about terminology. I just want to make sure that I'm picturing the right thing, I guess. Like it matters. Yes. I'm not sure that it matters if I can picture it correctly or not when we're searching on Wikipedia. But,
gotcha. So you said prism shape. Is it a prism, or is it just something that has that shape of basically a triangular cylinder?
Oh.
It need not be transparent.
Aha. Okay. So then what is its function? What is it used for? And how did you come to learn about trilons?
That's an excellent question. I don't remember how I came across it, but I found that it was I enjoy unusual words and learning new words, and so I made a note of it wherever I came across it. But it is used, sometimes in game shows where you have like the old Family Feud, for example, when they would call for an answer and then flip it over. So on one side you have the 1, 2, 3, 4 of the answer, and then they flip it over to reveal the answer when the answer is guessed. Or
you said game shows. Are there other game shows that it's used on?
Perhaps. I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of such game shows, but
I'm just struggling to think about how we're going to get to this thing, so I'm trying to squeeze more information out of you.
Well, and I'm not sure how much I want to give you.
Well, and it's just it's a geometrical shape, right? I mean, that's what it is, or is it a physical thing always?
Oh, the examples seem to be a physical thing.
Okay.
When I used to do training in my day job, one of the things that we would make for people working on a lot of, whole classroom of people working on a self-guided exercise was essentially a paper triangle that had, like maybe their name on one and then the word done. So if they were done with a self-guided exercise, they could flip it over. so the teacher can see at a glance how the class is doing, or are they mostly done or mostly not done, and has whatever the company logo on the third face or something.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm picturing something a little bit different than what I was picturing before, but this makes sense to me. So it's almost like a Toblerone, right? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the primary use case for these objects is game show related, at least that we know of.
I don't know. Always. Like, I think there are signs that they make with those, right? Like, aren't there billboards that are made up of those things so that like they can show three different billboards on the same billboard?
Yeah. And they all turn at the same time.
Well, yes. And I'm not completely sure, but perhaps spy car license plates could be Trilons.
Yes, sure. If you have three, if you have four, I guess then.
Or mobiles of the bat variety.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I think the advantage of a 3-sided object versus a 4-sided object is if you have the 4-sided object, that it's likely to hit the next one as it turns.
Yeah.
Whereas a 3-sided would not require an expanded radius.
I don't know.
Depends on the axis of rotation.
Did the Batmobile need to change license plates? Because I mean, it's a pretty that's a car that's gonna.
Wait a minute. Yeah, sorry.
You're not gonna be like, oh, sorry, I'm looking for the
Batmobile.
With a New York plate on it, not this Illinois plate.
Well, there's more than one Batmobile out there. I'm just saying.
That's true. It's a fair point.
I would
there's
say
more than one.
The ludicrous notion that Bruce Wayne has maintained his secret identity just means that Gotham is full of the dumbest people in the world, particularly the police commissioner and the mayor, if they can't figure out that, hey, this really rich guy might be the same guy as this guy with these expensive gear who fights crime at night.
I think it's too
obvious. The Metropolis people don't have much on the Gotham people, if I'm being honest.
That one's even, he doesn't even wear a mask. Come on. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
There it is.
Wait, you don't have glasses on, so you can't be that guy. Well, this is going to be a real struggle, I think, Jethro, but I'm excited to try it, to try line.
As am I.
And see how we get there from Nathaniel Hornblower, or I guess the page redirected to Adam Yauch. This is gonna be something, man.
I'm very excited. I can't wait for us to get there. Dan,
thank
you so much.
Excited about the fact that he is stumped us essentially.
I mean, it sounded like that your episodes have been getting, you've been solving them very quicker and quicker, and so I thought you needed a challenge.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Dan always likes to make life harder for me when he can. So
it's a wise choice.
Indeed. All right, Matt. I didn't put you two together so you could like pick up tips on how to rib me better.
I use my resources, my friend.
All right.
It's like Thanksgiving when the two big brothers gang up on the little brother again. For old
there you go. There you go. Except I'm older than Matt, so technically we should be ganging up on him.
That's true.
Next week.
Well, thank you, Dan. Greatly appreciate it. And you'll have to wait a month or so before you find out if this was a challenge we were able to overcome.
That's right.
Oh, it's going to be totally worth it.
Thanks, man. We really appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All righty, Roo. So here we are going off on our journey.
Yeah.
Matt, we've got a couple things we need to do.
Yeah. What's up?
Number one is we need to guess the number of guesses that guessing requires.
I think we're going to guess the number of links that we're going to follow, or the number of pages. No, it's links, the number of links. So how many links is this going to be? Let me write down a number here.
You do that.
Write down
friend.
A number and see if I can. Yeah. Okay. I got it. I got a number. You got a number?
Excellent. I have what some may consider a number.
Okay. Well, would I consider it a number?
Well, maybe. Maybe.
Well, then I would change it if I were you. If you're not sure.
Listen, I'm not going to be hemmed in by your narrow provincial view of what is and is not a number.
Fair enough. I am
more
close-minded when it comes to that.
More importantly, Matt, we've got to talk about beverages. What do you have in sight?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jethro. I am having a brand new thing for me that I've never had before. And if you check this out, I'm going to hold up to the camera, and no one else will be able to see it. But look at that, buddy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a beer right there. And
look at that.
That, my friend, is a Partake Red. Partake Brewing.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what?
What?
It has less than 0.5% alcohol in it.
What?
This is an NA beer, my friend.
Oh, that's what's new about it. I was like,
beer.
I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure I've seen you.
Yeah, it's and I'll tell you what, it is very tasty. It has only 25 calories, only 3 carbs, and it tastes like beer. It's crazy.
Look at that.
I've never had a non-alcoholic beer that tasted quite as much like beer, and they have a bunch of different varieties. And so the next couple of weeks, that's what I'll be enjoying.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm happy for you.
How about you, man? What are you having?
I'm having what I like to call nature's wine, which is just water. It's a big old plastic glass full of water.
Nature's wine. That's interesting.
That's right.
Wine on that one.
Yeah. Well, what should it be? Nature's vodka?
I don't know. Hey, I actually have a little joke for you. What did the tiger say to the water?
I don't know.
Hi, water. Bye. See you later.
Yes. I was in my defense. I was 6 years old when I said that. So
I still love it. I still think it's fantastic, and I think I will probably paraphrase it from time to time.
I'm sure it'll be one of the many slogans that end up on our merch shirts for the next season.
I hope so. The front with the setup and the back with the punchline. I think
there you go.
It's going to be fantastic.
And all attributed to Pliny the Elder, I hope.
Yes, of course. All right, man. Well, are we ready to journey off here? Because I have a feeling this one's going to take us a little while. So
not like Adam Yauch. Let's rock and roll, buddy.
Let us rock and or roll. So if you head over to his page, you're going to find a lot of information about the man. Unfortunately passed away in 2012. So, wow, that's a long time. I didn't realize it was that long ago. But yeah, we've got a lot of info here, a lot of biographical information. Born in Brooklyn, attended Edward R. Murrow High School in Brooklyn, attended Bard College for 2 years and then dropped out. So, a lot of biographical stuff in there, not a lot of shapes so far from what I've seen.
Very, very few game show references.
Yeah, not a lot of those either. It's going to be interesting to figure out how we're even shooting at this. I mean, he said it's used in game shows, but I don't know that game show is going to be the 100% best path in there. In fact, I think Billboard is probably going to be a better path than game show. But hey, what do I know? Not much.
I mean, I guess all I can think of for me, like all of the examples of it that are popping into my mind are game show related because there's so many game show things where like, and now we'll reveal what the letter is, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of those were probably just. I think the letters, like if you're talking like Wheel of Fortune, I think those are just like single, like 2-sided. They just flip them. Well, now they're nothing. Now they're just screens.
They're definitely not 2-sided.
No,
there's definitely some heft and depth to them. That's why, like, even Vanna White is ripped. Like she's got some beefy guns there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not that they don't have some heft to them. I'm just saying
I will not have you
3-sided.
I will not have you impugn Vanna White.
I wasn't even coming close to impugning Vanna White. How dare you? How dare you? I say, how dare you?
So I got a crazy idea.
Yeah,
I got a ball right out of left field here.
Yeah, do it.
So Brooklyn, New York is there, and he went to Edward R. Murrow High School. Now, I don't know if you know this about New York City, but very populous city. It's also a place by virtue of the highly networked nature of the city and the wealth that is concentrated there, that a lot of people who grow up in New York go on to fame and fortune. And I think that Edward R. Murrow High School probably has more than its fair share of famous alumni as a result of that.
Okay.
And it's named after Edward R. Murrow.
And so what you think that we're going to get there through a famous person that went to Edward R. Murrow High School? That's what you're suggesting?
I'm just saying that's an exciting place to possibly head out. Listen, if you see by the way, he also collects different types of prisms on here. Then great, I'll click on that.
No, I don't see that. I do see a lot of references to famous people, though. So my thought was, if you do feel that this game show route is a good one, perhaps there is a famous person on this page that has been on a game show, since a lot of celebrities kind of go on game shows and do kind of the fun funs and whatnot. So one of the people that I'll point out is Ben Stiller is on here. And I believe that Ben Stiller he for a while had a variety show or a sketch comedy show that was on MTV, if I'm not mistaken.
He had a sketch comedy show that was on MTV. I don't remember a variety show.
Well, no. I'm sorry. Sketch comedy is what I meant. He had a sketch comedy show on MTV. And so what I'm suggesting here is that he may have appeared on something like Remote Control because of that, or something along those lines. So that's my Ben Stiller pitch for you. Now, there's also the MTV Music Awards are on this page. MTV gets us into, potential game shows and things like that as well. And then there's just a bunch of musical artists on this page as well. So I don't know if any of those would necessarily have done this, or have been on any game shows that you can think of, but maybe. I
mean, I do like Ben Stiller just because I like Ben Stiller. He's a funny guy.
Sure.
A lot of cool, interesting stuff that might get us there. I guess the thing about Edward R. Murrow High School is when I hovered over the link, it does mention Mel Brooks, which was something that jumped out at me as something worthy of exploration.
Yeah, I mean, Mel Brooks, that doesn't stick out to me as a Mr. Game Show. So I don't know.
I like Mel Brooks too. I like Mel Brooks more than I like Ben Stiller. So I guess I wanted to go to the page that talked about Mel Brooks rather than
I get it.
I have a flawless reason for all of my decisions, Matt.
I see that.
Can't argue with it.
I'm a little more inclined to go to Ben Stiller personally, but I don't know if you make.
All right, you know what? I've browbeaten you enough on recent episodes to force you to go my way. I'm going to follow you this time. I'm going to, I'm feeling, you know what? Having my brother on sort of reminded me of how scarring it can be to have an abusive older man in your presence. And so I'm going to back away from that.
All right, let's do it. Ben Stiller it is.
All right, fantastic. And he is down there under Illness, Death, and Legacy.
He is.
Where he tweeted that Yauch stood for integrity as an artist.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So when you click on Ben Stiller, it takes you to Benjamin Edward Mira.
Stiller. Yes. His mother was
Ann Mira.
His mother, Ann Mira.
Right.
Jerry Stiller.
And the picture of him from 2019. Good Lord, he looks old. He looks like an old man.
I don't know if you know this. He's getting older.
Yeah, he's 56 years old, but he looks older than 56 in this picture. Like that's just not a very flattering picture. That's all I'm saying. The lighting, something about that, it's not right. Something's wrong with it.
It's not his go-to publicity shot.
No, it can't be. It can't be. Oh, it's from the Montclair Film Festival. So there you are.
There you go.
I see a bunch of awards. I see he was a member of the Frat Pack, which I didn't know was an actual thing.
Mm-hmm. The Frat Pack was like, I always thought of that like Ali Sheedy and Demi Moore and Rob Lowe.
No, that's the Brat Pack.
Oh, the Brat Pack. What's the Frat Pack?
The Frat Pack is Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, Jack Black, Paul Rudd, and I can't see the other name because when I hover over, that's as far as I get. Oh, wait, there's a section on Frat Pack here. Maybe it tells me down there. Well, anyway, it's that group of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. Yeah. Well, I clearly missed out on paying attention to all the appropriate packs in Hollywood.
Yeah, I had never heard of it. And you know what else I had never heard of until a couple days ago, which I'm sorry, this is way off topic. Do you know about Generation Alpha?
Generation Alpha? What?
Yeah.
What is this? Is this a new Robert Ludlum novel?
No, it's just the next generation after Gen Z.
Oh.
This is a real thing that I had to look up because I didn't believe it was real. And it totally is. So there you go.
Was somebody just like, let's go around the horn?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess they were like, well, we got through X, and then we kind of said we didn't really talk about Y very much, but then we did Z, and now let's just do Alpha. Yeah. It's crazy.
I think they should just stop making new kids. I feel like it's been done.
I agree. And, let's just cut it off. And I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're doing our best. We're doing our best, baby.
Speaking of getting there, we should try to find something vaguely Trilon related.
Well, so far I haven't seen a ton yet, but what I did see, and I'd forgotten about the fact that Ben Stiller was once in, or the one movie he was in is Happy Gilmore, and Happy Gilmore features Bob Barker.
Does it?
And he, of course, was the host of, The Price is Right.
This is true. I've not seen Happy Gilmore, so I'll take your word for it.
I would recommend it if you were way younger, and then you would look back on it with nostalgia and really enjoy it.
I got to say, I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan. So
okay, well there you go.
His presence,
that movie.
His presence in a movie really turns me off, and the bigger his role, the more I'm like, I'll skip it.
Yeah. Well, you won't enjoy that then. I'm
a snob, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is on here because he was a celebrity contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So we've got that.
Nice. Well, that'll get us to game shows. So that'll get us to game shows quicker than Happy Gilmore will.
It will absolutely. But also, I have to say that he is. It says on here he is a self-professed Trekkie and appeared in the television special Star Trek 30 Years and Beyond to express his love of the show, as well as a comedy roast for William Shatner, who's linked. He frequently references the show in his work and named his production company Red Hour Productions after a time of day in the original Star Trek episode, The Return of the Archons.
Nice. I remember that scene in Cable Guy where Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey are fighting at a medieval time, and they heavily reference a Star Trek fight.
They do from Amok Time, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. But that has nothing to do with Ben Stiller, so I'm not sure why you're talking about that.
This is true. In light of the fantastic information you've just given us, I'm highly inclined to go towards Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, so far I think that's probably the way to go. The Hasty Pudding Theatricals is on here.
Is that the Harvard?
Yes, yeah.
Which
I'll bet at Harvard they do a lot of shapes and stuff. So maybe that's the way to go.
They do a lot of shapes at Harvard.
They do a ton of shapes at Harvard. He was the Hasty Pudding Man of the Year. Oh my gosh, there's so many people linked down here. Oh, wow. A lot of famous comedians were the Hasty Pudding Man of the Year.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
I think the Hasty Pudding Man of the Year thing is just a way for Harvardians to get some high-profile person to come and hang out with them.
Oh, yeah.
So they make up this thing and give it to them.
Jimmy Stewart who wants to... okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you've really gone down a Hasty Pudding rabbit hole.
I have, yeah. So what do you think? And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's your favorite idea on this one so far?
Yeah,
you really think that that's the path in. You think that game shows is our path. Like on some game show page, they're going to talk about the shape of the thing.
I think that is highly possible.
Really?
I don't know a better path.
Well, we could go through...
you keep talking about billboards.
We could go through Trekkie. I mean, I'll bet Star Trek, there's some kind of connection.
I mean, in your defense, which it's rare that I do this, but Trilon certainly does sound like a word that would exist in the Star Trek universe.
It does. It sounds like an alien or something, yeah.
But given that you didn't immediately say, I know what this is, tells me that there are no Trilons in the Star Trek universe. Yeah. Unless there are game shows in the Star Trek universe. And I don't recall anyone ever watching TV in the Star Trek universe. So.
No, but there were game show type situations, I guess probably a technical show, quote unquote.
I got to tell you something that came across my internet feed the other day. So there was a New York Times crossword puzzle that basically had a clue of like, it's the best sci-fi series. Yes. And the crossword puzzle worked for either Star Wars or Star Trek based on the words that intersected with it. I thought what a clever thing. And I immediately thought of you as somebody who would enjoy that.
Yeah.
But clearly you've heard of it.
I did. I did. I saw it and I thought it was fantastic. So if you haven't seen that, folks, look that up. It's New York Times crossword puzzle on the week of February 7th, I think. I think that was the week that it came out, but I'm not sure about that.
Nice.
It was sometime around there. So, all right. Well, if you think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is the way to go, if you think that we can really get there through this this whole game show route, I guess we'll give it a try, because I don't see anything on here that talks about billboards either. Although I do think that if we went into like movies, we would get into advertising, and that would get us to billboards. So I will put that into your brain for just a second if you like it, and if you don't, then just spit it out and get rid of it.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's a possibility, but I also feel like you've already mentioned 3 links just to get to billboards, and I don't know that billboards is going to be like, there's probably a sub-page of moving billboards that has those juicy details.
No, I agree 100%. All right, so it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
A Millionaire. There we go. Here it is. American television.
The American game show. Let's be clear, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Interestingly, it's an American television game show, not linked. That's upsetting.
Oh, good.
That's really upsetting.
It's gonna be linked somewhere though, right?
I will say Regis Philbin is linked here, and he's hosted like a gazillion game shows, so he's also probably a good person to go through. A
gazillion, has he? I'm gonna bet you at the bottom there's a whole list of game shows.
That's true. That's true. And you hate the bottom, and there you are.
No, I don't hate the bottom. I hate categories. I don't mind this whole actual like pages thing.
Okay.
But it's not true. It's a lie. There are other game shows listed on here. Celebrity Family Feud being one of them.
Ooh. Is that a separate game? Is that a separate game show? Isn't it just Family Feud?
Well, so here's the thing. This is under a list of ABC programming. And so maybe Family Feud isn't an ABC show, but Celebrity Family Feud is. So what we have is Card Sharks, Celebrity Family Feud, The Dating Game, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, The Chase, Holy Moly, The Hustler, Match Game, Press Your Luck, Pyramid, and To Tell the Truth.
Interesting. The Game Show Network is linked on here.
Yeah. Well, I think one of I think Pyramid or Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I think those are some good ways in there. Pyramid might be one of the best because it might give us 2 options. It might give us a shape option, and I believe that at one point those things that had like they like had the amount on them, and then they flipped, and then they had the category, and then they flipped again, and they either had like an X on it or something, or I don't remember. But I feel like those were definitely a 3-sided whatchahickey, and that might be the way to go.
A whatchahickey.
Yeah, a whatchahickey. Yeah.
That's certainly a possibility.
You're seeing other things. You like other stuff here?
I mean, I like Wheel of Fortune as an option.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, let's be clear.
Okay, well, I would prefer that it just said regular Wheel of Fortune.
Well, that's the problem is regular Wheel of Fortune is syndicated, right? So it's not going to be an ABC show.
Gotcha.
I think. I mean, that's my guess anyway. Unless, I mean, maybe Wheel of Fortune itself is on here somewhere else. Weakest Link is here, and that's a CBS show, so that wasn't even in my list down at the bottom, but it is on here.
Yeah.
Greed 21. You like any of those?
I don't know those, so I can't really speak to them.
I feel like they're newer, so
they're not
that old style like flippity flip going on. They're going to have more of the like
screens and stuff like that.
And whatnot. Yeah. Oh, the $64,000 question is on here, which I think is the same thing as Pyramid.
Is it?
That might be, isn't it? Wasn't the $64,000 question the same thing? Or it was a $64,000 Pyramid at one point. So no, they're probably different.
Yeah, I only know the $64,000 question as like a reference. Like as far as I know, that was like an old radio thing that just kind of worked its way into the culture. And you know, some old person when I was young would be like, "Well, that's the $64,000 question, isn't it?"
Right. That's what they would say. Yeah.
That's exactly how they talk.
That's exactly. Yeah. Wow. That's what it is. The Price is Right is linked on here. If you like that.
Ooh, I like The Price is Right.
Do you like The Price is Right? Is the price right for you?
It could be.
Did you make the correct bid without going over?
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, that's sad. That is sad.
All right. Where is The Price is Right?
The Price is Right is under I lost it. It's gone. It's not here anymore. Where'd it go? Production staff? Production staff, yes. Under production staff, which is under personnel. Former Price is Right director Rich DePiro.
There we go.
Who later directed Mental Samurai.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about The Price is Right is that there are so many games on it.
There are a lot of games.
But true. I will also say that could also be the negative thing about The Price is Right. It's like a Saturday Night Live paradox where there's so many different things that they're not all listed on the main page.
Yeah, the other thing is The Price is Right to me was a lot of like pulling cards out to reveal things. Like, oh, what's behind here? Oh, there it is. Like, I don't remember a lot of spinnies or flippies going on in The Price is Right. Now, maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, but...
I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
We know that there were flippies on
Wheel of Fortune
and Family Feud. So
I mean, Wheel of Fortune is only flippies.
No, there's a wheel also.
There is a spin. Sorry, yeah. I guess I forgot about
after. So
I was thinking of
Fortune.
I was thinking of a Trilon of Fame. That's
sure. It's a totally different game. Yeah,
it's a knockoff.
It's not.
I guess of all of them, I like Wheel of Fortune the most. Because
I do over Family Feud, which is the example that your brother gave.
I don't know if you know this about my brother. He is deceitful and devious.
Okay.
And also, that's a screen thing now. So I don't know the degree to which it. I don't know. If you want to go to Family Feud, we can go to Family Feud. Although I feel like right now it's my own Family Feud where I'm disagreeing with my brother who's not here to defend himself. But,
well, here's the thing. You came along with me to Ben Stiller. So let's go. Let's follow you. Let's go to, what do you want to do? Wheel of Fortune, right?
Actually,
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
If you hold on a second here.
Yeah, okay.
Hold your horses, because you were looking at the expandable thing at the bottom for ABC programming, right?
I was, yes.
There's also a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Game Show.
Oh, yes, I had looked at that.
Which has other game shows
You're right.
Listed here that I think we are hurrying off and have not yet looked at. Now, the idea that the Wheel of Fortune has ever won.
No, it is. It does. 2011, Jeopardy / Wheel of Fortune.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So, and that's even quicker because...
It takes us directly to Wheel of Fortune rather than
instead of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, yes.
Yeah.
Precisely.
I love that there was a tie.
Yeah.
Cash Cab won 3 years in a row.
Cash Cab did, and I'm wondering if would old cabs probably had that thing going on, right? They were,
and it was the $25,000 pyramid.
$25,000 pyramid. It didn't get higher than that. It never got up to $64,000. All right, well,
no. All right, you want to click on Wheel of Fortune?
If that's what you'd like to do, I'm willing to follow you there, sir.
I love it. Spin that wheel.
All right, Wheel of Fortune is the American game show. Let's be clear.
Often simply known as Wheel, is an American television game show. Here, game show is linked, created by Merv Griffin that debuted in 1975. The show features a competition in which contestants solved word puzzles, similar to those used in Hangman.
You know what? I wish that I had a soundboard for this one, because I would absolutely wheel up. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff.
Fortune.
Yeah. I like it does say up here, to win cash and prizes determined by spinning a giant carnival wheel. So it talks about the wheel. Is it going to talk about the letters?
Well, there's a section, the first section, in fact, that says gameplay.
Yeah.
So if we go down there, the game is based on Hangman, which of course it is, but I've never thought, and honestly, like I saw somebody tweet like,
Jethro, it's here.
What?
It's here.
What? Where? Who?
It's here.
When? How?
It's under set. The show's original puzzle board had 3 rows of 13 manually operated trilons.
Look at that.
And it's linked.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. For a total of 39 spaces. Trilon.
Unbelievable.
A trilon is a 3-faceted prism object. Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Wowzer Bowsers.
Holy
Thank you, Merv Griffin. Thank you.
Woof. Woof-a-moof. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, and there's a whole thing here Trilons became a common element on many game shows. 3 on a Match, Pyramid, Woo, Street Smarts, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud. It feels like we could have gotten any of these. Finders Keepers, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Debt, The Price is Right, Big Brother. Oof, I should stop reading this page because we might have tied. There's no chance. You definitely won this week, but this is amazing. I can't believe it. Sure. I thought it was going to take us forever to get there.
Wow.
And look at that. We found it.
I tell you what. Boy, Dan's going to be miffed when he finds it.
He sure is, man, because that was
He thought he was so smart.
Wow. That was 4 links. That ties our shortest for the season right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is.
Well done, us.
Yes.
Well done, us. Speaking of 4 links, I guess that means that we need to talk about our guesses and what our guesses are.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So I guess 5.
Oh, good for you, man. I had very little faith in us. I guess 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I thought this was going to be a long one.
Man, I feel kind of insulted that you thought.
You should. I really didn't have any faith in us at all. Well, I didn't. Look. Had I realized that this was going to actually be linked on these game show pages, I guess I'd have had a lot more faith. I thought for sure we were going to get to a game show page and it would talk about them, maybe even say them, but not link them. And so I thought we were going to be wandering around in the desert for 40 days, but clearly not. Clearly
Here we go.
Not.
Well, it's the first time that we had an opportunity to be like Christ, and we did not... did not follow through.
I don't know if it was the first time.
Well, Matt, we've done it yet again.
We did.
And here we are. And I think, is that my first victory of the season?
No, you won last week as well. If you recall, you actually got it on the nose.
Did I?
Yeah, you guessed 6 and it was 6. So.
Oh man,
you got it. So we're tied 2-2 right now.
Oh my gosh.
Which does not look good for me. I hate 2 unanswered. I don't like that. I would have liked to get one in here. And have a nice little 3-1 lead, but that's not. It did not happen.
Well, Matt, we have many more destinations waiting before us, and you doubtlessly have many adventures that you'll be going on each week between now and then that you can fill us in on.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I do a lot of crazy, weird stuff here and there. Some of it related to science.
I'm really excited to see what happens. Another 10 weeks into the season when you're really scraping the bottom of the reference barrel for.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. It was a long decade, the 80s. So
it's true. It's true.
All right.
Longer than most.
Well, Jethro, congratulations on a victory here. Congratulations on some good suggestions on where to go as we were going. And I think I look forward to doing it again next week.
Likewise.
Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening. A big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Harmio for our artwork. And of course, thank you for continuing to listen, and thank you for going and giving us a rating or review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to these podcasts if they accept ratings and reviews. If you'd like to become one of our Patreon supporters, you can go over to patreon.com/drunkardswalkpodcast. You can join us there. Thank you to Katie and Dave, our 2 current patrons. And hey, we'll see you again next week, everybody. Take care.